Let's now get to major developments in the budget battle in Lansing. State lawmakers think they've come up with a way to go around Governor Whitmer's nearly $1 billion in budget cuts. They have plotted a number of options, and one of them overriding some of her 147 line item vetoes. Business editor Rob Maloney is live in Lansing with more on what's going on now. Rod?
Well, Devin, let's take a look at what the governor did. She cut about $1 billion with her vetoes and then shuffled around about another $600 million. So it's $1.5 billion essentially. The legislature wants to take $500 million of this, $557 million to be exact, and they've written some new bills as a way to get around this. And so they're up there working on 24 new bills. Let's take a look at what they're saying about it all. While Republican legislative leaders may have said last week the governor's budget is in and finished, today they decided they just can't let it stand as is. State Representative Jason Shepard of Monroe told Local 4 in Lansing today,
"We need to just fix some of the things that we feel were most egregious at this point and continue to move forward."
It's a long list, 24 new bills that will look to restore funding to things like opioid addiction, autism, rural hospitals, charter school funding, education, and safety grants. One Shepard's sponsoring has to do with secondary road patrols.
You're going to talk about something and you talk about law and order and you talk about wanting public safety, to cut that out of a budget. So every county has an impact of that. Monroe County especially could lose 2 deputies because of that.
State Senator Jim Stamus of Midland sponsoring the bills in the Senate.
This is just one step in a large process, but being ready to move forward to make sure that we continue to support the Michigan families.
The governor's office put out this statement this afternoon, quote, "It's clear Republicans agree the budget isn't done, and that's a good thing. As the governor has said all along, she's committed to working across the aisle to protect the health and safety of the people of Michigan. If the legislature wants to protect people, the governor is more than happy to negotiate on their priorities," end quote. And so how does all this work? Well, here's the thing. 24 new bills takes a while to get through the legislature. So it's going to take about a week, maybe even 2, for these new bills to take shape, get passed, because they will have the votes, because these are Republican initiatives and they have control in the legislature. Then they get sent off to the governor. Would she veto them again? They're ready for that. They're saying if she vetoes them, then it's off to the override department. Back to you.
Well, Rod, you'd want it to be a negotiation. Any plans for them to sit down at the table and start talking again?
Well, you know, they met last Thursday, but they didn't talk about this, but they're meeting this Thursday. And the intent is to actually talk about a supplemental or a fix of some kind to try and get this thing taken care of.
All right, we'll be on it. Rob Maloney in Lansing. Thanks, Rod.